I gave my sister a job. She used my computer and sent a fake email that almost got me fired. I thought she was family, but she nearly destroyed everything. I used to believe that helping family was the most natural thing in the world. You grow up together, share childhood stories, cover for each other in front of your parents. So when my younger sister Megan asked me for help getting a job at my company, I didn't hesitate. I practically pushed her resume into my boss's hands. I'm 34, and I've worked my way up the marketing ladder in a mid-sized tech firm. Started as a junior analyst, now senior strategy manager. It's not flashy, but I built a solid reputation. Dependable, sharp, loyal. Megan, 27, had been struggling to find stable work after dropping out of graduate school. She said she needed a reset. I believed her. She started in the PR team, reporting to a different manager, but we still saw each other around the office. At first, it felt nice. Lunch together once a week, occasional Slack jokes, our mom texting, "So proud of you too." I genuinely thought this was going to be one of those family success stories. But then, little things started to feel off. First, Megan stopped talking to me at work. Said she was too busy. Then I caught her copying entire lines from one of my internal presentations and pitching them in a meeting without credit. I confronted her, politely, but she brushed it off. It's a team, right? I let it slide. She was new, nervous, trying to impress. The real slap came a month later. My boss, Claire, called me in. Her tone was different, cold, clipped. She asked why I had sent that inappropriate email to a client. I was stunned. What email? She opened her laptop, turned it to me. There it was. An email from my company account, sent late at night, full of passive-aggressive sarcasm, and worst of all, attached to a file that hadn't been approved. My name was on it, my signature, but I never wrote it. That moment, something shifted. I felt cold, betrayed, but I didn't say a word. Instead, I nodded slowly and said, "Can I have until the end of the day to figure out what happened?" Claire agreed, but the suspicion in her eyes was unmistakable, and that's where everything started unraveling. I walked out of Claire's office feeling like the floor had vanished under my feet. How could someone fake an email from me, and why? The obvious suspect, Megan, crossed my mind, but I didn't want to accuse her without proof. So I started watching. I revisited archives, checking every draft and sent item from the night in question. Nothing out of place, until I found a saved draft in the PR team folder. It wasn't mine, but had my name in the author field. I opened it, and my stomach clenched. It started with that passive aggression, sarcastic tone. The same file attached to the email Claire forwarded. A file name like Client Project Budget V2 Final John Doe.x. I checked the folder's last edited by metadata, Megan's name. My heart sank. Next, I contacted IT under the guise of checking server sync. I asked them to trace edits and timestamps. The logs confirmed. Megan logged in from the PR computer last night, around 11 p.m., and edited that exact file. Just before Claire's email went out at 1 a.m., I had it, but I needed more. I had to see if she sent it. That evening, she lingered late in the office, pretended to organize her desk, but her screen was open to my sent mail folder. She grabbed her coffee when I came up. "Hey, helping Claire with a project?" She smiled, too quickly. "Yeah, just clearing the inbox." "Right." I continued calmly. "Strange thing, I noticed a draft saved in PR folder but didn't send. But the clients received it." She froze. "Look, Chris, I held up a hand. "Just hear me." I laid out the metadata, the log times. I watched her expression go from nervous to resigned. She sighed. "I didn't mean to get you in trouble, I was just stressed. I thought, if I found a mistake, I could show your value by fixing it. Betraying you to help you." "Perfect." My blood boiled. "So you stole my work, then sabotaged me?" She didn't deny, just nodded. I stepped back, voice low. "I need you to fix this. Reach out to Claire, explain it, apologize, and no one outside this room ever hears about it. Megan's face paled. And if I don't? I looked straight at her. Then I submit your resignation, and I take it to HR. She swallowed hard and nodded. That night, I didn't sleep. My trust shattered. Again, this time by my own sister. The next morning I expected Megan to come in late, silent, ashamed. Instead, she burst into my office at 8 a.m., eyes red, face flushed. We need to talk, now. Something about her tone was different, not defensive, but desperate. I pointed to the empty chair. Sit down. She hesitated, then collapsed into the seat. I emailed Claire and copied you. I admitted everything. The email, the draft, the edits. I apologized. I leaned back. Good. That was the right move. She stared, tears welling. But Claire, she's furious. She said it's one thing to mess up, but this is betrayal. I might lose the company discount, and she wants the board to know. My heart sank. I knew where this was going. What did you expect? She looked away. I thought you'd protect me. I felt cold. I protected you. Gave you the job. Gave you trust. She stood abruptly. So, you're throwing me under the bus? I shook my head. I'm not your punching bag. You made a choice. She took a breath and stepped closer. I'm sorry, truly. But I need to fix this. Can you help me? Even now? I looked at her. Really looked. The once trusted sibling now at the edge of a cliff, asking for a lifeline. I swallowed. We rebuild from zero. I'll support you in front of Claire, if you ask. But this stops here. No more games. She nodded, voice cracking. I understand. Then, with a sudden rush of steadiness she hadn't shown before, she reached into her bag and pulled out a handwritten letter. She handed it to me. My hands shook as I unfolded it. It was addressed to Claire, containing a complete confession and a plea for second chance. This is my last move, she said softly. Will you help me hand it over? I sighed. This was her fork in the road. Okay. I stood. We go together. As we walked through the hallway to Claire's office, I realized this wasn't only about saving her job. It was about reclaiming trust I gave away. And that felt like more than corporate politics. It was about family. The corridor felt longer than usual. Megan and I walked side by side, the letter heavy in her hand. I felt every step echo, not just in wood floors, but in my chest. The office door loomed ahead. We reached Claire's office. I knocked softly. Claire looked up, her face neutral, masking fatigue and tension. I spoke. Claire, this is Megan. She has something important to share. Megan stepped forward, voice shaking slightly. She handed the letter across the desk. Claire took it carefully, eyebrows raised. Megan swallowed, meeting her eyes. I wrote everything down. I misused company resources. I edited my brother's work and sent it as mine. I know I betrayed his trust. And yours. I'm asking for a second chance. Silence. Then Claire opened the letter and read quickly. Her fingers paused on certain lines. I held my breath. Finally, Claire looked up. Her tone was firm. This is serious, Megan. You've broken trust, professional and personal. I appreciate the confession, but... She paused, eyes steady. My heart thudded. The pause felt eternal. Megan trembled. Then Claire continued. I'm willing to give you probation. 3 months. No promotions. Your access is limited. You'll work under supervision. Mark and I will check your work. Every day. Megan exhaled tears. Relief mingled with shame. Yes. Thank you. Claire switched to me. Mark. Thank you for bringing this to me. I appreciate your integrity. We'll monitor the repair plan. I nodded, tension leaving me like exhale, feeling of calm, maybe even pride. Claire folded the letter neatly. I'm not supporting the mistake, but I'm willing to support the person trying to fix it. As we walked out, Megan touched my shoulder. Thank you, she whispered, for everything. I looked at her, my sister, flawed but trying, and I realized Maybe this accountability is stronger than innocence ever was. In the weeks after that tense meeting, our world shifted. The office atmosphere hummed with relief, curiosity, and a hint of caution. Megan returned to work the next day, head down, determined to fix what she'd broken. Claire announced a probation plan in the team meeting. No promotions, strict checks, but also structured support. At first, Megan mostly kept to herself, but I deliberately made small moves: coffee in the morning, lunchtime check-ins. No big speeches, just subtle reminders that I hadn't given up on her. One afternoon, I walked by her desk and said, "Need help with anything?" She looked up, eyes glistening, and nodded. That little acknowledgement felt like a bridge being rebuilt. Meanwhile, rumors circled. Apparently she tried to sabotage Mark. It stung. Once you're known for betrayal, you're wearing it. So in our team, we started replacing it with different stories. She confessed. She's getting support from Claire. She's trying. I corrected misconceptions when I heard them. I wanted her mistakes to be known, but not her entire identity. At home, it was complicated. My parents found out through a late-night call. They were shocked. Family drama. Mix of disappointment and concern. They wanted me to cut ties, but I insisted. This is bigger than one mistake. We used our Sunday dinner to talk about forgiveness, accountability, not perfection. Megan cried. I cried. There were no easy lines, just a messy family unpacking grief and hope. By the third week, I noticed a shift in Megan. She took on menial tasks nobody wanted. She volunteered to help me with a client presentation, stayed late to practice. Her posture straightened, no longer hiding, but trying. Then something unexpected happened at week 4. Claire quietly asked me to join a client call. Megan was presenting a key budget. Nerves trembling, she delivered flawlessly, answered tough questions. The client praised her calm and insight, calling her presentation solid and strong. I sat there, smiling, quietly proud. After the call, Claire came over. She got such great feedback. Keep supporting her. And I realized it wasn't just a career win. It was a milestone in rebuilding trust. But I also learned something softer. At home, the tension improved too. Sunday dinners shifted from awkward tears to shared jokes. My partner, recently wed, looked at me and said, "I'm proud of you, for your grace." I realized forgiveness doesn't structure itself in checklists. It grows in little moments, supportive glances, shared laughter. I don't know if Megan will be promoted again, but I do know this. We're building something more real than before. In the office and at home, we're learning that trust broken can be built again, but only if someone refuses to leave after the fall. It's been 8 weeks since that long corridor walk. Megan's probation period is almost over. We don't pretend everything's perfect. There's still a weight in her shoulders and an awkwardness in the hallway glances. But the deeper change is in us, together. At home, our Sunday strategy talks have become normal. I listen more than judge. She updates me on work not because she has to, but because she wants to. We've learned to treat transparency like a shared goal, not a punishment. In the office, Megan's reputation is shifting. People who once whispered give her polite nods. When she presents now, I catch myself smiling, not because I expect something going wrong, but because I trust her again. Her final week came with a test we didn't expect. A sudden problem. Clients' deliverables missed timeline. Megan stayed late, coordinated with everyone, fixed the core issue. Next morning she came to me and said, "I owe you that." We didn't hug. It wasn't time yet. But I put my hand on her shoulder and nodded. That look. Mission accomplished. I asked Claire if this means she can reapply for a promotion. Claire said, "Let's wait another month. But the progress is real." So we're at a milestone, not a finish line. We're learning that restoring trust isn't about wiping slates. It's about building together, brick by brick. And here's what we want to ask you. Reddit, YouTube, everyone watching. Can you, or someone you love, come back from betrayal? Would you give them a second shot, even when the stakes are high? What would earning your trust truly take? Because forgiveness isn't a word. It's a marathon. And sometimes the hardest part is taking the next step. together.